Hi. You can see the quite a bit of rain, so the river is coming up, but it it can come up a whole lot higher than that. I started these talks, and the main theme is God and the soul, and I just want to I've talked about a lot of other things in between, but I always touch on God and the soul in them. But I just want to say again how important God and the soul is. It's interesting if we say my soul. If I'm talking about my soul, which is really a misnomer, because our soul continues when our body dies. So it's more correct to say I am the soul and I have a body. The same as our spirit body. We have the spirit body with us now. Of course, we also have it in the spirit world. When our physical body dies, we have a spirit. We're in this. Our soul is housed in the spirit body, and I think that if you can progress really high in the spirit world, in the celestial realm, that there comes a point where you don't need your spirit body either. So, and then you are a soul. Of course, we are also half a soul. So it's not even correct to say my soul. It's because I'm only half of that soul, and my soulmate is the other half. And I guess to reiterate that, because that is our main progression, our soul coming closer and closer to God, getting more and more of God's love. That is, I mean, there is another path, certainly, and I don't mean, I'm not dismissing that path. That's the natural love path. I'm just, it seems to me that spirits, certainly when they start to receive God's love, that's what they want to continue to do, and they understand the importance of that to themselves, the importance and the wonderfulness and the love that just continues and continues and continues, and the continual progression and growth. So it is something to strive for, I think, and we will certainly, when we get there, we will see how our earthly life was just like kindergarten. And kindergarten is important. It sets us up as to how we will progress in the spirit world, and sets us up to have happen to us what is necessary for our soul to go through the process of just growing into a whole natural human, and the process of giving up our sins, and the process of repenting of the things that we have done that have harmed other people, and coming to a forgiveness of ourselves and of other people. And if I think if we talk about, say, God's purpose, and I don't know what God's purpose is. However, I can look at what I see and what I have learned, and see how incredibly perfect what God has created is, and see what has that got to do with us or my soul. And possibly God's purpose is for Him to have us become closer and closer to Him, receive more and more of His love, so we can just become closer to the image of God. And if that is the purpose, and always remembering that He gave us the greatest gift, which is free will. If we're not doing these things from our own free will, then it doesn't mean that much. If we are just being coerced or being controlled or just being programmed to receive God's love, then it doesn't mean that much. But for us to come to it willingly, for us to want to use our free will to ask for God's love and to receive God's love, well, then that's real. That's so that's why we have free will, I think, because it's the only way that it's pure. It's the only way that it's unconditional love. And the other thing with free will is the amount of creativity that can be in that free will, or is in that. It is in that, regardless of what we do in our lives. The free will is very, very creative, and the things that you can see, that the good things that we have created on this earth are incredible. They are just they're just extremely creative in how they've been made, and not just the physical things, but just the mental things that we have studied and come to learn, mathematics and the sciences and literature and just the wonderful things that people have been able to create. Just music. Oops. I'm just checking to make sure my mic had turned back on. So there's these wonderful things that we do create. We are creative, and we are always creative. But in that we are so creative, when we are doing the negative things to ourselves and to others and to the world and to the universe, that we create the negative things as well. We create the things that make us ill. We create the disease in our body because we are not acting in a loving manner. We are not acting in concert with God's love and God's laws. We are out of harmony with those laws and God's love, and we're still creating we are creating, and so everything that is we can see that is hurting us, we have created. God did not create that. God had no reason to create that. God didn't want to create that. He created the natural world as it is and gave it to us. And he didn't create the things that were gonna hurt us. He had no reason to. He wanted us. We are his children. He's not going to poison us. He's not going to do things to us that hurt us. He's just not going to. He is a completely loving, forgiving, merciful God. So he does not create those things. We create those things. And just by our unloving actions, and we don't even know they're, so many times we do not know they're unloving, because it's just so common in it just seems like everybody is part of it, and we just kind of go along, and so it's just interesting that how creative we are, and whether it leads us down the path of love or leads us down the path of not so much love. And just one way, the best way, the easiest way to start to see these things is to pray for God's love. Now, it's not necessarily going to feel easy, and we will need to really look at ourselves and what we are doing, and really come to see where we are not loving, really come to see how we are not acting in through God's laws, God's love, and or not. We don't have to, and it's just going to be it will be a tremendous wake-up call when we find ourselves in the spirit world with just no idea of where we are, why we are there, and if we carry our beliefs, and we do carry our beliefs from this earth, whether they are correct or non-correct, we carry those beliefs with us, and we carry all that pain and all that heartache and all that misery, and a lot of those things are the things we don't want to look at in our own lives. But you go to the spirit world, and you're gonna look at them. You're gonna see them, because you don't have all the earthly things that we've grown attached to, and that we're striving for, and have a wonderful job where everybody's praising us all the time, or having a lot of money and a lot of property and a lot of things, or whatever we have attached ourselves to, that is not going to help us progress in the spirit world, where none of those things matter. They just don't matter. So you end up there, we all will, and the more we have thought about these things, contemplated these things, questioned ourselves about what we are doing, the better prepared we will be. So, thank you.